Dear student, today we are going to study about LS of human kidney. LS of human kidney is longitudinal section of human kidney. Now, each one kidney is consist of three layer, means it is made up of the three layer. The outermost layer is a renal fasciae, middlemost layer is a adipose capsule, and the innermost layer is a renal capsule. So let's learn about one by one. Outermost renal fasciae. This renal fasciae is outermost, thin, transparent, and made up of the fibrous connective tissue. Their main function is anchor the kidney in abdominal wall as well as a different tissue, means to fix the position of kidney in abdominal region and surrounded to the other tissue. Now the adipose capsule. This is nothing but a fatty mass of tissue, and it helps to protect or again to absorb the shock. Now, the third one. The third one is a renal capsule. It is again smooth, thin, transparent, made up of the fibrous membrane, and it continues to outer wall of the ureter. Now, their function. Renal capsule, it acts as a barrier, and second one, it helps to protect the spreading of infection to the kidney. So that's the three different layer which present outside the kidney: renal fasciae, adipose capsule, and the renal capsule. Now look at this figure. This figure consists of mainly two regions. Outermost region is a cortex one, while the middlemost region is a medulla. So this region is a medulla, outermost is a cortex. Now let's learn about the different labels related with the LS of human kidney. This is about a renal papilla of a pyramid. It's a apex of the pyramid. It's a pyramid, triangular part, and it's a apex. Apex is an acute one. That's a renal papilla of a pyramid. Now, this is about a renal cortex. It's a outermost layer. This is a dark in color. It's a dark in color. Now, the renal medulla. As compared to the cortex, it is a faint or the pale red color. Now, this part is a continue from cortex to medulla. Cortex to medulla, that's a renal column. It's a blue colored part which is continue from cortex toward the medulla. That's a renal column, or it is also called as a column of Bertini. It is discovered by the Bertini scientist, so called as a column of Bertini or the renal column. Now, this is about a renal pyramid. This striated part, there is a furrows, linear furrows, look like that, a striated one, and that's why their shape is a triangular, called as a pyramid. It is a middlemost part, so called a renal pyramid. The name renal is related with the kidney. So whatever the label is in a kidney, so they are referred as a renal one. Now the ureter. This renal pelvis continues to the ureter. Renal pelvis, it's a yellow colored part, and it is a conical in shape. Now there is a major calyx, here is a minor calyx. So these are the different labels related with the LS of kidney. Now let's discuss about the histological structure of the kidney. Histologically, kidney consists of mainly two regions. Outer region is a renal cortex, middle region, that's a renal medulla. Outer region, that's a renal cortex. It is a outer one. It is a dark in color as compared to the medulla. Now this renal cortex is having a granular structure. It consists of the granular structure. This granular structure is nothing but a Malpighian tubule as well as a convoluted tubules and the blood vessels. While the second one part is a renal medulla. Renal medulla is a pale red color, means it is a faint red color as compared to the cortex. Now it it is a triangular in part. It is a triangular in part. Here is a apex. Here is a acute apex and the broad base. This broad base is toward the cortex, while acute apex toward the medulla. While there is a renal column. Now this cortex continue to the medulla region with the renal column or a column of Bertini. This renal medulla, it shows a striated part. This one is a striated part. Striated, it looks like a linear furrows or the valley-like structure. The apex is a acute one and to form a renal papilla of a pyramid. It's a renal papilla of pyramid. Now, from that renal papilla, there is arises a minor calyx. One minor calyx, number of each one pyramid having a minor calyx. So, number of minor calyces. These minor calyces open into major calyx. So, suppose there are the three pyramids. There are the minor calyces which open into the major calyx. So there are about 60 to 20 pyramids there. So each one major calyx open into the major calyces, means number of major calyces is there which open into that funnel-like part. This funnel-like part is a renal pelvis. So whatever the substance or the filtrate is formed, it is collected into the renal pelvis. It is empty or it is a hollow structure. The renal pelvis continues to the ureter, and this ureter which come out from the kidney or which leaves the kidney from the hilus region. So this part is related with the LS of human kidney. So LS of human kidney or the histology of human kidney, it consists of mainly two parts, renal cortex or the renal medulla. Let's learn about new term, that's a nephrology. Nephrology means study of nephron. That is, nephrology is branch of biology that deals with structure, function and disorder of male and female urinary system. नेफ्रोलॉजी हे असं शास्त्र आहे की ज्याच्यामध्ये वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे डिसऑर्डर की जे युरिनरी सिस्टीमशी रिलेटेड आहे त्याचा अभ्यास केला जातो. जसं की किडनी स्टोन आहे किंवा नेफ्रिटिस आहे, अशा वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारच्या डिसऑर्डरचा अभ्यास केला जातो. दॅट्स अ नेफ्रोलॉजी. So definition of nephrology is, it is a branch of biology that deals with study of structure, function and disorder of male and female urinary system. Look at this part. This one portion is a cortex region of kidney and this one part is a medulla of the kidney. So some of the nephron present in a cortical region called as a cortical nephron, while some of the nephron present just near to the medulla region. So some are the cortical nephron, some are the medullary nephron. Let's study about the structure of the nephron. It's a structure of the nephron. It consists of Bowman's capsule. It is a anterior portion, wide, blind, and the cup-like structure. Second one portion is the neck, while the third one portion is the coiled part. That's a proximal convoluted tubule. Convoluted, that's a coiled portion. Anterior or the first coiling portion is a proximal convoluted tubule. This is a PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. Next one is a loop of Henle. Loop of Henle are of two parts. One is a descending limb or loop of Henle, or second one is a ascending limb of loop of Henle. Now the next one portion is a distal convoluted tubule. So it is a second coiling portion. So distal convoluted tubule. And last one part of the nephron is a collecting tubule. That's a CT. Distal convoluted tubule, that's a DCT. Collecting duct, that's a CT. So nephron is a renal tubule. It is a coiled portion and it consists of the bunch of capillary, that's a glomerulus. It's a proximal end. Bowman's capsule has a cup-like structure and it is a blind. Blind म्हणजे बंद असतो. While their distal portion is a open one, like a CT. That's a collecting tubule. Proximal end is a blind. It's a closed. While the distal end is open into the collecting duct. That's a CT. This is a nephron. Their total length is about 4 to 6 centimeter long. Now, this nephron is lined by a single layer of epithelial cell. Means their wall is made up of only single layer of epithelial cell. Now, this nephron is nothing but a structural and functional unit of the kidney. So, number of time this question is asked in an CET exam as well as a NEET exam. So, it is a competitive based question, which is a structural and functional unit of kidney. So, our answer is a nephron. Nephron is structural and functional unit of the kidney. Now, this nephron having a number of parts. Look at this structure. It's a Malpighian body or the renal corpuscle. Malpighian body or renal corpuscle made up of mainly two parts. One is a glomerulus. Glomerulus is a branching tubular network of capillary, while the cup-shaped cavity, this is a cup-shaped cavity called as a Bowman's capsule. Means the glomerulus and the Bowman's capsule collectively called as Malpighian body or the renal corpuscle. Each one Malpighian body, it is about 200 micrometer in diameter. Means their total diameter is about 200 micrometer. So let's learn about in a Bowman's capsule or the Malpighian body. So the first one part is a glomerulus. Glomerulus is a bunch of capillary. It's a bunch of fine capillary network-like structure present inside the Bowman's capsule. So this is a globular network of the blood capillary. These blood capillary are the fenestrated or the perforated. Perforated सच्छिद्र असतात त्या. That's a globular structure called as a glomerulus. Now the afferent arteriole, actually it is a part of terminal part of the renal artery. We know about that. Renal artery which supply the blood to the kidney, and afferent arteriole is a terminal portion of the renal artery. Now, when it entered into the Bowman's capsule, it reunite or it divide and redivide to form a globular structure. Now, it entered inside the Bowman's capsule. While this capillary is a reunite, पुन्हा एकदा एकत्र येतात, and which leaves that Bowman's capsule. Now it is a efferent arteriole. Afferent arteriole which enters the Bowman capsule, while efferent arteriole which leaves the Bowman's capsule. Afferent arteriole, they are greater in diameter than the efferent arteriole. They are larger in diameter, they are smaller in diameter, and due to that's why they can create a pressure to the inner wall of the Bowman's capsule due to their difference in a diameter. They can create a pressure inside to the Bowman's capsule. So that's why the filtrate is entered inside the capsular space. So this is about a glomerulus. Now the next one point is Bowman's capsule. Friends, we know about that. Malpighian body consists of two main parts. One is a glomerulus and second one is a Bowman's capsule. Glomerulus is act as a ultrafiltration, means a filtration is formed under the high pressure. Now the second one is a Bowman's capsule. So let's learn about that. Next one part, that's a Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule is made up of a double layer. This one is a outer layer. This one is a innermost layer. This outer layer is called parietal layer or the parietal wall, while the inner layer is called as a visceral layer or the visceral wall. Both these walls are made up of the squamous epithelial cell, and this is the outer parietal layer. It's a thin one and made up of only simple squamous epithelial cell, while the visceral wall, that is the innermost layer, is made up of the special kind of cells, that's a podocytes. That's a podocyte. Now the space between that two layers, the visceral layer and the parietal layer, the space between that is a capsular space or the urinary space. This capsular space is continue from Bowman's capsule toward the neck portion. Now the podocyte. Look at this structure. These are the podocytes. These are the special type of cells. Look at the structure of the podocyte cell. Look at this structure. These are the podocyte cell having a poda. पायासारखं तुम्हाला इथं structure दिसतंय. These are the podocyte cells having a pedicell. Along with their foot-like structure is a pedicell. These are the foot-like structure. पायाच्या आकारासारखं structure दिसतंय, त्याला म्हणायचं pedicell. And they are totally covered with the glomerular capillary. Means what is the filtration or the blood is entered here. So all these kinds of podocyte which present the visceral layer, whole these act as a filtration slits. Means there is a slits are present. Slits means जाळीसारखा भाग असतो. या ज्या ऍडजेसंट सेल्स आहेत त्या ऍडजेसंट सेल्स मध्ये एक प्रकारच्या जाळीसारखा भाग असतो की ज्याच्या मदतीनं फिल्ट्रेशन कॅप्सुलर स्पेस मध्ये एंटर्ड होणार आहे. सो दिस इज अबाउट अ पोडोसाइट सेल. Now Bowman's capsule is continued into the next part, that's a neck portion. It's a smaller one part and this capsular space is a continue into that lumen of the neck. This lumen of neck is called as a urinary pole, while this neck cell they are made up of the single layer of ciliated epithelial cell. केसासारख्या असलेलं स्ट्रक्चर किंवा इपिथेलियल सेलच्या वरच्या बाजूला सिलिया सारखे काही भाग असतात म्हणून याला म्हणायचं सिलिएटेड इपिथेलियल सेल. नाउ this neck like portion continues to the PCT, that is a proximal convoluted tubule. Convoluted means it's a coiled portion. It is a first coiled portion. That's a proximal convoluted tubule. This cells is made up of the single layer of cuboidal and the having a microvilli. They are specially called as a brush border because they can increase the more absorptive area. Whatever the filtrate is entered into the capsular space, now it entered the proximal convoluted tubule through the neck region. So whatever the filtrate is entered here, it contains more amount of useful substance. So they all are reabsorbed again into the PCT, that is a proximal convoluted tubule. So their main function is selective reabsorption. Only selective means the substance which is essential they are entered again to the blood capillary. So there is a glucose 1, now some kinds of proteins, sodium, Na plus ion, Cl minus, phosphate, those are essential, they are reabsorbed again. So main function is the selective reabsorption. While it is a totally convoluted tubule, means is a coiled structure. So filtrate it can be goes through toward the other part with a slowly manner. So it is this proximal part, it can be filtrate move very slowly into that region. Next one point is loop of Henle. Look at this. It's a loop of Henle. Loop of Henle is a U-shaped structure. It consists of two limbs. It's a descending limb, खाली जाणारा. दुसरा आहे ascending limb, वरच्या बाजूने येणारा. It's a U-shaped tube. Descending limb and the ascending limb. This descending limb is a thin walled and made up of the single layer of squamous epithelial cell, while this is a ascending limb. Ascending limb is a thick walled and made up of single layer of cuboidal epithelial cells. This descending limb is a permeable for water, while ascending limb is impermeable for water. So that's why it is a obligatory absorption of water. That's a loop of Henle. While the loop of Henle in an camel, it's a longer one because of it can create a more amount of concentrated urine. The vasa recta. Vasa recta is nothing but a blood capillaries surrounded to the loop of Henle. The efferent arteriole, they can make a branching structure over that loop of Henle, so form as a vasa recta. Now the main function of that loop of Henle is a osmoregulation. Osmoregulation, we know that that's a maintain the water and the salt balance, as well as it operate the counter current system. That's the obligatory absorption of the water. Now the next one part is a DCT, distal convoluted tubule. It is a second coiled portion of the nephron. This DCT is made up of the single layer of cuboidal epithelial cells. They take part in a selective reabsorption, means the waste are taken from that capillaries and they are taken inside that DCT. They are the part of the urine. Now they are the waste substances are a part of the urine and they are open into that collecting tubule. Distal convoluted tubules, they helps to maintain the pH of the body fluid, because we know about that our body fluid is maintained from 7.35 to the 7.45. So they play important role in the reabsorption of water. The last part, there is an collecting tubule. Collecting tubule is nothing but a straight part of the distal convoluted tubule. The major function of that collecting tubule is reabsorption of water, and again they opens into the collecting tubule. Again they secrete protons. So all this part is related with the structure of nephron. The structure of nephron, it consists of the glomerulus, then Bowman's capsule, neck portion, then the proximal convoluted tubule, the descending limb or loop of Henle, ascending limb or loop of Henle. This is another part, that's a DCT, distal convoluted tubule, collecting tubule, and last one part is a collecting duct. So here we completed the structure of nephron.